Today on the Trent Out Loud podcast. Could this be Kendrick's first loss in the battle? Could Kendrick really lose the Super Bowl? How many times are we going to hear about this Epstein and Diddy list? Is somebody releasing it or not? What's up? OnlyFans model Sophie Rain made $43 million last year. That's it. I'm done with YouTube. I'm going to OnlyFans. What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, it's a Monday morning, my least favorite day of the week, but I do have a good show set up to get us through the day. All right, I have one breaking story about the NFL reportedly reaching out to Lil Wayne. 3 lead stories. We're going to talk about Australia banning social media, Nick Cannon admitting to be a narcissist, and Elon Musk planning to release the Diddy and Epstein list. In quick news, we're going to talk about an OnlyFans model who made close to $43 million this year. GNX, rapper Gia, Drake, Lil Wayne, Joe Rogan, Eddie Murphy, and Chrisean and Blueface. As always, we're going to close out the show with a little bit of sports news and question of the day. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, or your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. All right, we have a breaking story that is going around social media and online. A couple of news sites have picked it up. The NFL has reportedly reached out to Lil Wayne to replace Kendrick Lamar amid Drake's lawsuit. Yes, I know it sounds a little bit unbelievable. I actually heard this last week and I was like, nah, this is somebody making it up. But like I told you, it's making its way on some blogs. You can actually Google it and you will see some some mainstream media outlets picking it up. So I really had to bring it to you guys and let you guys know that I actually think this might be occurring. The article reads, amidst ongoing legal tension involving Kendrick Lamar and Drake, the National Football League is reportedly considering replacing Kendrick Lamar with Lil Wayne for the Super Bowl halftime show in New Orleans, February the 9th, 2025. According to Media Takeout, the NFL has reached out to Lil Wayne's team to explore possibilities following a cease and desist letter sent by Drake's lawyers warning the league to prevent Kendrick from defaming him during the performance. The issue stems from Drake's legal concerns that Kendrick Lamar might perform Not Like Us at the Super Bowl, a song that could exacerbate tensions between the two. Sources close to the NFL have revealed that the league is scrambling to manage the situation, with its legal department reportedly in disarray over the matter. As a result, the NFL is said to be working on its contingency plans, with Lil Wayne emerging as a potential replacement for Kendrick, although no official confirmation has been made. This development has sparked a public dispute between the two rappers. Kendrick, frustrated by the assumption that his performance will focus on Drake, and is making him reportedly rethink his Super Bowl halftime set. While he initially considered including Drake and Lil Wayne as surprise guests, he is now contemplating a performance centered entirely around his own material with no reference to the ongoing conflict. All right, so a lot to unpack in there. I want to focus at the end part, where they're saying that initially Lil Wayne and Drake were supposed to pop out at the Kendrick Lamar concert at the Super Bowl halftime show and kind of like end their beef. That makes sense to me because I did hear whispers of that happening from a couple of people who I know close to the situation. I didn't know to believe it or not, but it did make sense. If not Drake, for sure Lil Wayne. For sure, because everybody expected Lil Wayne and the Hot Boys to come out at Super Bowl, so it would make sense. But it kind of also didn't make sense because of the Drake beef. So that's why I was like, yeah, maybe they might, mend their feud at the Super Bowl at the biggest stage. But it all seemed a little bit kind of like unrealistic. But now, like I said earlier, where it's getting on some of these more mainstream blogs, people are picking it up, they're talking about it, and it could be where that was the initial what was supposed to happen, which would be Kendrick having Lil Wayne, Nicki, Hot Boys Wayne pop out. Now with Kendrick going after Wayne on the GNX album, Drake filing this lawsuit, it looks like that surprise guest element, they're scrapping that, and now maybe the NFL is saying, look, we don't think Kendrick Lamar can handle it on his own. We wanted to have kind of like Dre was like 2 or 3 years ago with Dre and special guests, and he brought out Mary, 50 Cent, Eminem. I think that's what they were looking to do with Kendrick. But now that the Lil Wayne and Drake, and now with the lawsuit, NFL might be looking like, hey, our plans with Kendrick and our special guests are not working out. Maybe we should scrap the whole thing and just bring Lil Wayne, seeing that he's a New Orleans native. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think this is just a good story that people are picking up on and there's no truth or validity to it? To be honest, I don't know. I'm stuck in the middle. It sounds like it could be true, and these things always bubble up on these smaller blogs and then get to mainstream, and then somebody comes out with the proof and it's like, bang, this is what's really going on. So I will definitely follow up on this story. Let me know if you guys heard anything below. And we will, like I said, I'll keep you guys up to date and let you know what's up. All right, back to our originally scheduled program. Our first lead story. Australia bans social media for everyone under 16 years old. Australia becomes the first country to ban social media for under 16 years old by law, with the Prime Minister calling it a move to protect children's mental health from online hate and bullying. The law will make platforms including TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, Reddit, X, and Instagram liable for fines up to 33 million Australian dollars for systematic failures to prevent children under 16 years old from holding accounts. Now, this has been a discussion for a long time about social media. And while I'd like to see what Australia is doing, and kudos to them for being the first country to do it, I think that there's a bigger issue at hand because, A, it's going to be very, very hard to initiate who the person is that's holding the account and how old they are. What are you going to do? How are you going to do that? And how do you mandate TikTok and Facebook and on all these other platforms to do that, right? It's going to be up to the person who's holding the account. And I think the bigger issue is there's also a lot of things that are going online that kids have access to see. So I always feel like social media gets to be like the scapegoat where it's like, oh, it's social media's problem. But I feel like the bigger issue is just even online, and you need to address that before you even go to social media, just my opinion. But like I said, like sometimes even when you go to, these sites where they're asking, somebody's age and all of this stuff, and you just have to click to say that you're over that age and you get into the site. So I don't see how this is going to work. Like I said, kudos to them for trying. And I'm not saying that there isn't a problem. There is. I just don't think that this is the way to solve it. At the end of the day, I think it really more boils down to the parents. But it's a tough issue that we have to look into. But anyways, kudos to Australia for being the first to try it. Our second lead story, Nick Cannon admits he needs help after being diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. Nick Cannon opens up about his mental health. Earlier this month, the 44-year-old revealed he was diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. While admitting he doesn't fully understand the condition yet, Cannon shares that he had long been curious about getting tested. He said, I feel like there are so many labels out there, but being able to embrace it and say, look at me, I'm healing, I need help, shows me a lot. Nick Cannon also said, I kind of always knew that I may have been a narcissist. And Nick says that he wants to focus on balancing his role and help others while he is searching for his ongoing healing process. I really wanted to talk about this because literally probably was one of the most viral stories that happened over the weekend. The reason why I wanted to talk about it is that I've heard definitely this term narcissist or narcissism going around this year. I feel like I've heard it more than ever before. Of course, I've heard about it before, but it's a word that's really popular this year. And I feel a lot of people are using it loosely. And in full transparency, I never knew that narcissism was an actual diagnosed disorder, like how you have other mental health issues. I never knew that. I thought it was just a term that people are throwing out. So I went and Googled, and it is really a medical disorder. Listen to this. It says Narcissistic personality disorder is a personality disorder characterized by a long-term pattern of exaggerating feelings and self-importance, an excess need for admiration, and a diminished ability to emphasize with other people's feelings. Symptoms are exaggerated feelings of self-importance, excessive caring for admiration, and reduced levels of empathy. There's treatments for it, there's causes, there's the diagnosis, and they say that the duration is long term, and the usual onset is early childhood. Super weird. The cause is a combination of genetic and environmental factors. Social theories of NPD are weak and usually unclear. Like I said, I'm kind of on the fence about this. I have to do a bigger deep dive knowing that it's actual disorder, but I actually have a little clip of Nick actually saying this, and then you listen to him when he was saying that, like, you know, he felt like, what's the difference between confident and narcissism? And that's what I question, where I feel like the word was overly used by people who might be confident, because to be confident and cocky to me is two different things. I actually talk about that in my book. But when do you, and you could cocky means that you think that you're great without having any reason to believe that you're great. You just think that you are, but no basis. Confident is, yeah, I know I can do this, but it's also based on the fact that I have a track record, right? So someone's like, hey, can you jump over this wall? Yeah, of course I could jump over that wall. It's like, is he cocky? Well, no, I know I can jump over that wall because I've trained in the gym and I was whatever, etc. And like, you have basis. So that's confident versus cocky being like, man, I'm not even an athlete, but you think I can just because you're arrogant, right? So where does narcissism fall into that? Like, if you think because you are and you have proof behind that, where do you balance the narcissism? That's what I just find weird. But anyways, here's a clip of Nick talking about it. Let's go.
Diagnosed with a narcissistic
you mean clinically diagnosed with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It starts off with like confidence, overconfident, arrogance, and then you step into the space of narcissism.
See, in there he says it starts with confidence and then this and then arrogance and then narcissism. I just want to know where on the line, on the spectrum, does narcissism go to? Like I said, I understand cocky and I understand arrogance because it's clear. It's like, it's when there's no basis found and you're just saying it to say it. But I just take out the arrogance. I just want to know the confidence and narcissism, because I'm a very confident person, but I'm base my confidence on my past history of a proven track record. So if y'all can help me, what is the definition of narcissism? All right, our third lead story. Elon Musk allegedly planning to release Diddy and Epstein list on January the 20th. Social media is in shambles after claims that Elon Musk is preparing to spill some wine, allegedly revealing Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein's client list on January the 20th. The rumors sparked by viral TikTok and YouTube videos could shake things up in Hollywood. So we have been hearing about this for a couple of months now. I've reported it a couple of times actually here on this show. The reason why, however, I am bringing it up again is, well, two reasons. It's making a lot of noise this past week. I've seen it on Facebook. I've seen it on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Now, I wouldn't say on mainstream media, but some medium range blogs and a lot of influencers are talking about it. And the reason why I think people are talking about it more this week is last week, Elon Musk put out names of people in the government that he wanted to get rid of when those start. The Department of, I can't remember what it stands for, Department of Guidance and Efficiency, I think is what it is. And you don't normally put people's names out there like that. And the fact that he did was really all over the place. And now people are like, oh, maybe it might be true. The fact that Elon is here literally exposing people on Twitter, it might be true. Maybe when he gets in, he might put out this list. I cannot wait for this list to come out. Like I said, I've been literally talking about it. I'm not so concerned with the Epstein list. I want the Diddy list. I want to know who was at them parties. I want to know if Jay was there. I want to know if Beyonce was there. I want to know if LeBron was there. Those are the three names we keep on hearing. How deep does this list go? Anyways, It's either going to be Elon or it's going to be Cat Williams. I told you guys 2 weeks ago, Cat Williams is going back on Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp. And he literally came out and said, the first interview, it was light work. Now I'm coming with like the full story. So it's either Elon or Cat that's going to expose these celebs and all of this stuff that's going on behind closed doors that we want to so find out about. So I'll put a little poll below. Who do you think is going to release the most tea come January? Is it going to be Elon Musk or Cat Williams? Let me know in the comment section below or send me an email, trendoutloud@cfqr600.com. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. OnlyFans model reveals she made over $43 million in gross income for 2024. In a post marking her one-year anniversary on the platform, social media influencer Sophie Rain has disclosed her earning for the past year totaling over $43 million. The breakdown includes significant revenue from subscription, tips, posts, messages, and referrals, showcasing her substantial impact and popularity in the digital space. All right, when I saw this pop up, I was like, oh, Sophie Rain, where have I seen this girl before? No, I do not subscribe to OnlyFans. I don't have any subscriptions on OnlyFans at all. I don't even have the app. But I'm like, I know I've seen this girl's face before. If you guys remember that kind of TikTok challenge where it was like the beat was slow and then it would speed up, there'd be like mostly girls and they would, be twerking, and it would be like, I can't remember how the beat goes, but it would go light and then go to dark. And when it was dark, they would be like wilding out. Anyways, during that TikTok challenge, I'll try to find it and put it up on YouTube so that you guys see. Anyways, during that challenge, there was one group of 4 girls that like literally went viral. They kind of got the challenge like popping. I mean, they were like in these kind of like boy shorts. And I just remember that. That is her. That is the main girl from that video that everybody loved. She literally went and created an OnlyFans. And in the first year from a viral TikTok video, this girl made $43 million. That is crazy. Has to put a little asterisk beside it because that is gross. So I think OnlyFans takes, 30 or 40%. So you bring that down to, let's say like 25, 30 million. Then she has to pay taxes. So she's probably taking home 18 to $20 million. But that's still a lot of money. I've seen some comparison online where she's actually making more than most professional athletes. Totally crazy. But yeah, it just amazes me. I know I always talk on the show about, the future being online and social media and no longer mainstream media and even mainstream publications. And this just goes to show how, apps, Netflix, OnlyFans, YouTube, like this is the future of entertainment. If you watch terrestrial TV, you wouldn't even know who this girl is. She literally just lives in a social media world, and she is making probably more money than your favorite athlete. That's crazy. Our second quick story. Ice Cube reveals Hollywood rejected his new Friday movie script. Fans have been eagerly awaiting the new Friday movie, but Ice Cube recently dropped a bombshell. During his appearance on Cam Newton's Funky Friday podcast, Cube reveals that Hollywood execs rejected his script for the next installment. He went on to say the script was about Chris Tucker's character going to jail, and then the movie would be set in jail, and the executives were like, what? Jail's not funny. And he literally... Cam went and was like, yo, look, why don't you just go and do it with somebody else? But he put out the movie with, I think it's Iron, what's the name of the production company? Sorry, let me find it here. New Lion. It went out with New Lion Cinema, and Cube is saying, yo, they pretty much own the name and the title, so he can't just go and bring it to, let's say, like Paramount or Columbia or Universal. It's stuck with New Line Films, and he cannot go anywhere else. So that is the whole story behind it. For years, we've been asking, when is the new Friday movie coming out? But Ice Cube reveals he cannot bring it anywhere, and these new execs don't like any of his new ideas. Jail is hilarious, to be honest with you. Chris Tucker, Ice Cube, and that whole cast behind Jail would be crazy. And I agree with him that these execs don't know culture and they don't know what's funny, but of course they're trying to block it. I think there could be something else probably behind it. That's what it seems like to me, because I think anything they do with the Friday franchise will be funny. But hey, that's just my opinion. Our third quick story. China reportedly discovers $83 billion in gold reserve. According to reports, China has uncovered a massive gold deposit, potentially the largest ever found, valued at $83 billion. Discovered in Wanggu gold field, the reserve contains over 330 tons of gold at 6,600 feet, with some models suggesting up to 1,100 tons at greater depth. Basically meaning that there is more gold under there. With everything going crazy now with Bitcoin and gold and the US dollar not being the currency of the future, like anything that's other than money, that's gold or Bitcoin, is going to be crazy valuation. So I just wanted to let you guys know about it, man. Invest in your gold and your Bitcoin if you're into that cryptocurrency thing. I personally am not, but if you're into it, get some gold, get some Bitcoin. Our fourth lead story, Kendrick Lamar's GNX is the #1 album on Billboard, selling 325 units its first week. All right, just wanted to put this out here. If you guys remember last week, I think it was Wednesday, I was like, oh, the album is projected to sell 216 to 220. Then I think around Thursday or Friday, I was like, hey, they updated the numbers. Now it's going to be 295. And now all of a sudden, it's 325. This is exactly what Drake's was talking about. You have these bots, you have these, I've never seen an album projection. And I've been literally watching album projections literally for the past 10 or 15 years weekly. I've never seen 100,000 album jump. Normally projections are off by like 5 or 10. I've never seen this big. Maybe Drake might have a point. I don't know. Our fifth quick story. Rapper MIA says that after she signed to Roc Nation, Jayz told her to get plastic surgery. All right, this video has been going wild online the entire weekend. I don't know why now it's only picking up. I literally heard this like a week or 2 weeks ago and nobody made a big deal of it. But all of a sudden now this is like the big story. Take a listen to MIA.
Even when I met Jay-Z and I signed to Roc Nation, the first thing he told me to do is get plastic surgery. I'm not insecure because I would have got plastic surgery. What women do you know who hasn't had plastic surgery around you? All of them have. Guess what? I'm 50.
Like I said, there's not really anything to this other than the fact that she just name dropped Jay-Z and was like, the first thing he said was for me to get plastic surgery. I do not believe that at all. I think she's just saying it to say it. I don't even really know the context. I know she did reveal that she was 50 years old and she looks amazing, by the way. But yeah, I don't know the context behind it. It's literally, I just think that with this whole Diddy thing, like anybody that says anything about Jay-Z, it literally starts to get headlines. It's like, oh, Jay-Z is this bad and negative person and he told her to get plastic surgery. There's no context to this. There's no proof to it. There's nothing in an email. There's no receipts at all. Like, I think she's just saying this to say this. You guys could judge, but Jay has signed 20, 30 female artists, and you've never heard him say anything like this to any of his artists. Why would he just say this to her? I just don't believe it. Our sixth quick story. Drake is being brought back into XXXtentacion's case as one of the alleged people involved in the case calls him out in his new appeal brief. All right, one of the 3 defendants convicted in the involvement with Tentacion's unaliving has brought back Drake's name in his appeal documents. In the petition, the gentleman and his attorney point to rapper Drake and his alleged feud with Tentacion as a possible alternative suspect in the case. Hey guys, what this is just all BS. It's just really trying to get headlines. Drake is not being brought back in by the government or being brought back in by anyone of any sort of substantial, power. This is one of the guys that got convicted. He's trying to appeal, and he's saying in his appeal, hey, there's other people that had beef with Tentacion, and even Drake had beef with him, and Drake could be an alleged person that had something to do with it. Like, you could, I could say that to anybody. Like, oh, this person said this person's name on a song, so yeah, we won. You could bring anybody's name into a case. So again, this is just a blog trying to get headlines and this guy trying to get headlines. There's no case, there's no merit to it. We have all known, and it's all been debunked, that Drake has nothing to do with this situation at all. And people are literally just trying to bring his name on it to deflect of what's going on. They already have the people who did it. This is just headlines. This is all false. It's all fake news. Our 7th quick story. LL Cool J says he believes that one day people will wake up and realize that he's the most important rapper to ever exist. Take a listen to Uncle LL Cool J. Take a listen.
I'm going to say this with humbly, but I really mean this. I think one day people are going to wake up and realize that LL Cool J is the most important rapper that ever existed.
All right, so that was part 1 of the interview, and I'll talk about that in a second. There is a clip that I also found that a lot of people are not talking about. Listen to this.
Based on what you just say, can we just say that you're the GOAT?
No, because that's still subjective.
See, so the interviewer said, well, does that make you the GOAT? He's like, no, I'm not the GOAT. So I just wanted to bring that up to prove that he's not saying that he's the greatest rapper of all times. He feels like he's the most important. And the reason why he's saying that, it's pretty simple. For those of you who don't know, I mean, he did say this in the interview too, where he was the first rapper on Def Jam. He was the first rapper to go international. He was the first rapper to do a lot of things. And the fact that he built Def Jam, which launched the career and signed Jayz, Kanye West, and, you know, Run DMC and all of these rappers that came after him, he feels because of that, he's the most important. While I feel like he has a case, I don't necessarily agree with that, because just because you were the first and launched arguably one of the most important record labels, you are not the only record label, right? There was a lot of very impactful record labels, from Death Row, Bad Boys, whether you like it or not, with Diddy. I could go on and on, right? So Def, LaFace, my gosh, there's just a ton. I could literally spin your head with important record labels, right? There's at least 10 or 15 of them. No Limit with, Master P. He had one of the best deals ever, an 85-15 split. Like, nobody has ever had that in the history, and they'll never have it again. Like I said, I could go on and on, but he did play the part, but I just don't agree that he is the most important. He is up there. You could put him on the the Mount Rushmore for sure. Again, of importance, not greatest. We're not talking about lyrics. We're not talking about songs. We're talking about importance from the origins of hip hop. You could put him on the Mount Rushmore, but he's definitely, in my opinion, not the most important one in hip hop history. Let me know what you guys think below, or send me an email. Do you think LL Cool J is the most important rapper in history? Our 8th quick story. Joe Rogan rejects President Zelensky's request to be on his podcast. Okay, I was a little bit shocked at this, to be honest with you. I don't watch that much Joe Rogan. I've watched a couple of episodes, but from what I know about him, where the Donald Trump and Kamala Harris race, he said, listen, I like to sit down and talk and get to know people. That's why he wanted to talk with Trump, and he wanted to talk with Harris. We all know Harris decided not to go because of the time restrictions in the area. But he said, listen, I just like talking and getting to know people. I'm a little surprised that somebody like Joe wouldn't want to talk to him. If you guys know more about this, or anybody know more about this, like I said, I'm not well versed with Joe Rogan and his views and the reasons why he brings people on. But I'm very curious to know why he doesn't want to talk to them. If anybody knows, please comment below or send me an email about this. I tried to look it online and I couldn't find anything. So I'm leaning on you guys for this one. Let me know. Our 9th quick story. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau meets with President Trump. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau recently met with former U.S. President and now President-elect Donald Trump in Florida near Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. The meeting, which took place amid ongoing trade and border security tensions, is part of Canada's effort to address potential challenges proposed by the Trump re-election. Trudeau emphasized the importance of Team Canada's approach to safeguard Canadian interests, especially in light of threats such as potential tariffs on Canadian exports and tightened border policies. Both leaders discussed strengthening cooperation while addressing sensitive economic and security issues. All right, for my Americans that are watching right now, I want to tell you something a little bit about Justin Trudeau. For those of you who don't know, most of my viewers are American, not Canadian, actually. So I got to tell you guys this because I'm sure you don't know. But Trudeau is like the complete opposite of Donald Trump. If I could give you like an analogy, like there's Trump, and then there is Bernie Sanders, and then there's Justin Trudeau. Like that's how left Trudeau is. Having said that, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall to see that conversation going on. They have worked together before, obviously, when Trump was in office. But I'm sure Trump does not like Trudeau and vice versa. But of course, you know, they're neighbors, so they have to work together. But I really don't think those conversations went well at all. Also, to let my Americans know that Trudeau is probably going to be out. They're proposing to have an election in 2025, and there's a new conservative government at Pierre Poilievre, I think his name is, and they're saying that he's going to win. He's more conservative, and he's going to be able to work better with Trump. I don't know too much about all of that. I don't know who's going to win. I'm sure we'll get more into it in 25, and we will see. But I wish I could have been a fly on the wall to hear these two guys who really don't like each other talking. Our 10th quick story. Cenat makes history, ending his 30-day, 24-hour subathon with 728,000 subscribers. Shout out to Kai. We have been covering this since November the 1st. It's over now. It's done with. He wanted to just be the biggest streamer on Twitch, which was, I think, 328. Then he hit a milestone of 500,000, then 600, and now it is totally over with 728. Salute to Kai. It was really dope. I saw a couple of clips with Kevin Hart and Drewski. We played a couple of things from Sexy Red and a couple of other people, but it was a good month. Poor guy, man. Like I said, 30 days, 24 hours straight. This guy was actually like showering on stream. He had a bathing suit on, but I'm sure he's really happy to turn that camera off and literally just get back to life. For 30 days, 24 hours straight, he had a camera on him and never took it off, never ended. Crazy. One cool thing to note, though, he did find somebody, a girl that's been streaming 7 days a week, 24 hours a day for the past 3 years. Over 1,000 days she has to take her camera off her. Streamers are crazy. But anyway, shout out to Kai. It was a good month, but I'm happy for him that he's going to get back to like normal couple hours a day streaming. Shout out to Kai. Our 11th lead story. Eddie Murphy's son and Martin Lawrence's daughter get engaged. The kids of two comedian legends fall in love. We have told you guys about this a couple of months ago that they were getting serious. I think they've been dating for like a year or so now, or maybe a little bit longer. But over the weekend, they had an engagement party. And of course, it's all over social media. It is pretty crazy to see two iconic legends. For those of you who don't know, they did appear in one movie together, Life. If you haven't seen it, so funny. Again, talking about Ice Cube and these people saying that jail was not funny. Life is about Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence spending their entire life behind bars in jail, and it was hilarious, super funny. But anyways, shout out to them. It is a little bit weird that your two children actually get together and meet, and of course everybody online is like, yo, which father is going to pay for the wedding? It's supposed to be the father of the bride, which I think the bride is Martin's daughter, right? Yeah, Martin Lawrence's daughter. So should be Martin who have to pay for it, but y'all know that Eddie is a lot richer than Martin, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, shout out to the two of them, man. Our 12th quick story. Drake has sold more album units than any other rapper so far this year, despite not releasing a new album. Just had to throw this in here because we know we're talking about Kendrick Lamar so much last week and even this week, Billboard and how much he sold. Just want to let you know, at the end of the year, Drake will have sold more albums than any rapper this year in total. Any rapper this year. And my boy hasn't even released an album. Just wanted to tell you that. Best-selling rapper by total album units this year so far. Number 1, Drake. Number 2, Future. Number 3, Kanye. Number 4, Kendrick. Y'all savior, Kendrick Lamar. Give me a break. Number 4. Number 5, Travis Scott. Number 6, Eminem. Number 7, NBA Youngboy. 8, Rod Wave. 9, 21 Savage. And number 10, Tyler, the Creator. Shout out to my boy, Trissy. Our 13th quick story. Blueface tattoos Chrisean Rock's name on his face. She admits they exchanged wedding vows last month, and Jaden Alexis joins OnlyFans and Baddies to make ends meet. All right, so, okay, there's a whole article here, but we don't really need to dive into that. It's not that important. This is my favorite couple. This is my favorite hood couple, as y'all know. Love Chrisean Rock, love Blueface. They're super toxic and horrible for each other, but it makes for great internet. Like, I love them. I'm going to put up a little video beside me for those of you who are on YouTube and Spotify can see it. Yeah, Chrisean was like FaceTiming Blueface, and he got her name tatted on his face. And she actually confirmed that the two did say each other's vows, so they are married. We talked about that, I think, 2 weeks ago, where it was kind of speculated. I think Blueface's aunt was like, hey, they're married, but then somebody else from the family was like, no, it's not true. Chrisean said they exchanged vows. He called her from prison, had a priest, and was like, yo, I want to marry you. I think it's so that he can have conjugal visits, but who knows what's really going on. The two of them are married. I think it's probably just setting up for their Zeus series for the Zeus network for when they come back out, because Chrisean and Blueface together, I'm telling you, makes for the most compelling, toxic ghetto TV, which we all love. All right, this brings us to question of the day. What's something people flex on social media that is actually embarrassing? All right, Chris Smith 82 said, dudes recording themselves with girls in DR, Brazil, Colombia, and Thailand. That's hilarious. Miss Chase says, putting your Cash App when it's your birthday, that is begging ASR. Hilarious. Who does that? Yo, it's my birthday. Here's my Cash App. But I bet you some people make money, man. But for real, it is definitely not a flex. Kind of embarrassing. Somebody says celebrating anniversaries with somebody who cheated. That's rough. Somebody said Cash App in bio. Somebody says lavishing baby showers and no baby daddy present. No baby daddy present. I don't know if that's embarrassing. Yo, if you got pregnant and your baby daddy's not around, I don't think that's embarrassing. I get where you're coming from, but if she's doing it proudly and was like, listen, I got myself in a situation, but it's going to be me and my baby, boom, that's not embarrassing, man. Yo, stop hating on people, yo. Somebody said, taking pictures with money, I can't stand that. I agree. Bro, Jayz said, man, that any money that you could put into your hand on the phone on Instagram is not real money to us, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to have bank accounts with a bunch of zeros, man. Cash online is whack. Setting up your camera to cry at different angles in the room. I really have to agree with that. I really, really, really feel like these crying videos are so staged and so fake. The only ones that I'll accept is like, if I literally see you talking about something for like 5 or 10 minutes and literally in like the 6th or 7th minute, then you start crying, we know it's true, right? If something's like depressing or hurtful or whatever. But the fact that like it's in a reel for like a minute and you're like in 10 seconds, you're like crying at it, like, please stop it. Okay. It's embarrassing. Somebody says exposing their spouse's partner on the internet. That should stay between them. Edgard825 made a list. He said, having a job, paying bills, paying a car note, having health insurance, making groceries, paying taxes, or cleaning up. These are all things that an adult should be doing, and you're not flexing online. What? Okay, let me read this again now with the context. So if you're an adult, you shouldn't be flexing that you have a job. But what if it's like, hey, I have a new job? That's cool, right? Fine. Paying bills. No, I think that's good to be, look, I'm being responsible. I'm not in the club. I'm doing this. I'm paying bills. Like, I don't think that that's bad. Paying a car note. Okay, maybe that's a little pushing it. Having health insurance, making groceries, paying taxes, and cleaning up. I don't feel like I think maybe just the car note's like, hey, I paid my car note. But being like, hey, I feel good, I paid all my bills or health insurance, I don't think it's bad. Y'all are tough on people out here. Elisha Loyalty Libra said, those big veneers. That's true. Who was it? T.I.'s son, King, was like, yo, check out my new teeth. And literally, it was like, looked like he had a pack of chiclets in his mouth. It was horrible. Somebody said being mean to others, a lifestyle they can't afford, etc., etc. All right. I thought those were really good answers. Anybody have anything to add below? What is something that people flex about online that's really embarrassing and really shouldn't be a flex at all? It should just be normal or just not even online. Let me know in the comment section below or send me an email, trentoutloud@cfqr600.com. This brings us to sports news. There's a growing sentiment that the LA Lakers need to make a trade for an all-star guard like LaMelo Ball in order to help preserve LeBron James and Anthony Davis's chance at a playoff berth. Yo, I talked about this last week when I told you guys, I think LaMelo scored like 55 points and I think 40 points came in the entire second half. It was crazy. And I said, somebody needs to trade for him. He's too good to be on the Hornets. Like, he needs to go somewhere. Now, y'all know that I am not a big LeBron fan. Love him off the court, but on the court, I'm a LeBron hater because I'm a Jordan guy and Kobe. So I would hate to see him go. But for LaMelo, I would love to see him on a team like this. So I hope it works out. In our second piece of news for sports news, Washington Commanders and the NFL are in good faith negotiations to bring back the classic red skin logo. I thought this was pretty weird. I'll read you quickly. It says the Washington Commanders, previously known as the Washington Redskins, are reportedly in discussions with the NFL about reverting to their former logo, as indicated by a headline in the image that is provided. This move comes after the team changed its name and logo in 2020 amid widespread social media and political pressures regarding the use of Native American imagery. So they're saying that they're in talks to change it literally just 4 years after. One of the reasons why I wanted to bring this up quickly, I actually wanted to talk about this in quick stories or in leads so I can have a little bit more time, but especially now I'm short on time. But is this coming from a bigger story? Like, I feel with Trump getting into power next year and him cutting out a lot of these progressions that, you know, people have made, like social issues and norms and DEI and women's rights and all of these things, with Trump kind of getting rid of all of that. I'm not trying to bring this into a Trump conversation, but, you know, we clearly know a lot of these conservative mind states are coming back in 2025. Is that why you see this coming up now? Like, all these movements are like to being abolished. Like, all the progression that people have made, like I said, for rights, Native Americans, Black, DEI, women rights, is that all going to go? Like, the Redskins changed their name to the Commanders and even that's gone? Like, damn. Like I said, maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow or the rest of the sometime else in this week. But I know it's a minor thing and I'm talking about a bigger issue, but to me, I think that this small issue leads to a bigger conversation of what the Trump administration is going to do and change that's going to happen in the world for all of these movements that have come in the past 20 or 30 years. But I'm going to leave it at that. All right. Thank you so much for kicking it with me on this Monday show. Make sure you tune in for the rest of the week. And to do that, I'm going to give you all the ways to keep up with the Trend Out Loud podcast. If you're used to watching the show on YouTube or listening to it on podcast platforms, please try to check me out Monday through Friday on CFQR600.com or 600 AM if you're in the Montreal area. We do play the Trend Out Loud podcast weekdays, but we mix it in with 90s and 2000s hip hop and R&B. It's a great hour. It's a great way to get your entertainment and viral news while listening to your favorite hits from the 90s and 2000s. Now, vice versa, if you're used to listening to the Trend Out Loud podcast on CFQR 600 and you can't always catch the show between 11 to 12, or you're busy, you got things to do, I get it. I'm going to give you 3 ways to keep up with the show. First, on CFQR600.com's website, when you click Listen Live, there is another button that says Listen On Demand. You click that button and all 388 episodes will pop up of the Trend Out Loud podcast. Listen as your heart desires. There is also YouTube, which you guys know about. We upload daily on YouTube. Check us out there. And of course, there's always any podcast platform. Just go to your desired site, type in Trend Out Loud. The show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And like on YouTube, we upload daily. You can check me out on any social media platform. It's always the same handle, Trent Out Loud. Don't forget to follow the media company, Exclusivity Media, on Instagram. And lastly, for those who are tuned in right now on CFUR600.com, do not touch that dial because Don Smooth is coming up next with the lunch mix. And Don is always dropping the hits. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I hope I was able to help you get through your Monday, man. We are here, starting of the week. I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Peace. Oops. Yo, I almost forgot. Sorry, I had to literally come back and record this. Happy birthday to my little cousin, Sheridan. She literally was like, yo, if you don't shout me out on my birthday, yo, I'm not talking to you. So totally forgot. I actually put a little note to like remind myself to say this. So anyways, happy birthday, Sheridan. Thanks for all support. Sheridan literally watches every single episode. She does not miss one. So thank you so much for the support. And yeah, happy birthday. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace!